You're born underground in a burrow your mom didn't even bother digging herself. It was probably started by some older relative and expanded like a bad group project. Sloppy tunnels, sketchy corners, and all. You come into the world blind, bald, and about the size of a peanut, surrounded by a couple dozen equally squirmy siblings. And if that wasn't bad enough, you're born into a monarchy. That's right. Your mom isn't just mom. She's the queen. Capital Q, and you? Your worker number, nobody even knows. Because in the naked mole rat world, you don't have a name or a future. You have a job. You're not here to play. You're here to dig tunnels, defend the colony, and if you're lucky, snack on some root scraps while your royal mom cranks out more babies. She doesn't even give you a side eye of acknowledgement. She's too busy popping out dozens of future tunnel slaves like a biological factory on overdrive. And don't even think about having kids yourself. That's her thing. She's the only one allowed to reproduce. You try anything funny, she'll literally bully you back into infertility. Not joking. Her hormonal dominance suppresses everyone else's ability to have babies. It's like a sci-fi dictatorship, but with buck teeth and zero privacy. As for your first few days alive, you can't see, you can't hear. All you can do is wiggle around, hoping someone will let you nurse. The tunnels are warm and packed tight, like rush hour in a sewer system. You're basically living inside a giant fleshy intestine full of nervous, hairless sausages. Honestly, if a human saw this from above, they'd assume aliens had taken over and were raising gummy worms underground. You get fed by instinct, finding your way to mom's belly in total darkness by using smell and luck. Half the time, you're just sucking on your sibling's toe. And even when you find the right spot, you still gotta shove someone off like you're fighting for Wi-Fi in a basement bunker. Sleep? Forget it. You're constantly bumped, rolled over, stepped on by bigger siblings. Even your dreams smell like dirt and warm breath. And when you finally drift off, it's usually because exhaustion knocks you out cold, not because conditions are ideal. Welcome to life as a naked mole rat. You're blind, hairless, oppressed by royalty, sleeping in what feels like a hairy traffic jam, and expected to serve your entire existence without so much as a thank you. But hey, at least you're not above ground. Because the second you are, everything wants to eat you. Snakes, mongooses, birds. It's like stepping out of the frying pan and directly into a reptile's mouth. And worst of all, you'll spend your life doing everything right, working hard, staying loyal to the colony, only to have your queen live 30 years while you're lucky to make it to 6. You don't even get a retirement tunnel. So yeah, welcome to the underground. You're a naked mole rat now. Embrace the darkness, avoid the queen's wrath, and whatever you do, don't suck the wrong toe. You're about a week old now. Congratulations, you still look like a pink jelly bean with teeth. But hey, at least you're a slightly bigger jelly bean. Your job? Still nothing glamorous. You're on tunnel maintenance duty. Basically, you spend your days wriggling through cramped, sweaty tunnels, using your 2 giant front teeth like tiny bulldozers, pushing dirt that never seems to end. Sometimes you think the dirt is pushing back. You try not to get stuck behind your chunkier siblings, those overfed freeloaders who eat too much and dig too little. The tunnels smell like a gym sock soaked in vegetable soup and left in the sun for a week. Welcome to your glamorous workplace. Now let's talk caste system. You thought humans were bad with social hierarchy? Naked mole rats turned it into a biological operating system. There are workers, soldiers, and the queen. You? You're not even mid-tier. You're in the bottom bracket with no upward mobility. Your brain's literally flooded with hormones that suppress ambition. Got dreams? Too bad. You'll forget them by lunchtime. The queen says jump, and you say where into. If she wants you to unclog the far-end poop chute with your face, that's your task. You don't rebel. You smile, sort of. Take the hit and keep crawling through the royal waste. Oh, and don't think about climbing the ranks. Some mole rats have tried, sure. Overthrow the queen? Form a resistance? Yeah, good luck. She's got muscle. Literal soldier-class mole rats, bulked up, like they've been doing CrossFit in the mud, whose only job is to body slam anyone with revolutionary thoughts. They don't argue. They don't hesitate. One wrong look and you're flat on your back, nursing bite marks and being reassigned to deep trench patrol. Despite all this, you're getting better at your job. You can feel danger through vibrations in the earth, predators overhead, footsteps far away. You've developed a sixth sense like a tiny naked Jedi of the dirt. But does that earn you respect? Nope. It earns you more digging, more darkness, more tunnel cleaning duty with your nose an inch from someone else's rear end. And then, just when you think it can't get worse, another birth wave. The queen's at it again, popping out babies like a gumball machine stuck in overdrive. More mouths to feed, more tunnel traffic, more squealing jelly beans crawling all over your face while you're just trying to sleep. You don't get a day off. You don't get alone time. You don't even get to have your own babies because Her Majesty said no. And let's not forget about the cave-ins. Every now and then, without warning, the tunnel just decides it's done supporting itself. You're just minding your business, chewing roots, when boom, the ceiling drops. If you're fast, you dig sideways and live. If you're not, you become another section of tunnel. Congratulations, you're infrastructure now, which in naked mole rat time is basically adulting. But don't let the grown-up label fool you. You still live in a giant dirt maze full of butt traffic, awkward family dynamics, and zero privacy. Congratulations, you've graduated from baby jelly bean to functioning tunnel peasant. At this stage, you're working nonstop. You've officially become part of the worker caste, which means your entire existence revolves around digging, cleaning, and hauling food like a furless Roomba with anxiety. You barely sleep, and when you do, it's curled up between two sweaty cousins, inhaling recycled mole breath. Romantic, right? Oh, and don't even think about dating. That's not your lane. The queen, still alive, still thick, is the only female allowed to reproduce. She's got a hormonal chokehold on the colony, flooding your brain with chemicals that shut down any sexy thoughts before they even finish forming. You're basically chemically castrated by peer pressure, and it works. No romance, no drama, just dirt, duty, and maybe a root or two if you're lucky. And honestly, the closest thing you've had to a date is that one time you locked eyes with a soldier mole rat during tunnel cleanup, right before they bit you on the face for slowing down traffic. Still, life isn't all misery. You've memorized the colony's layout, learned which tunnels are shortcuts and which ones smell like moldy carrots. You've gotten strong. Those weird-looking buck teeth of yours? Yeah, they never stop growing. And you use them like twin jackhammers. You can dig through hard-packed earth faster than most rodents can run. Some people run marathons. You build underground empires without ever seeing the sun. And sure, every now and then the tunnel gets invaded. Snakes are the big bad here. They slither in, slow and silent, hunting for a crunchy snack. Your job? Alarm system, and maybe, if you're unlucky, a very chewy distraction. No pressure, of course. You just have to warn the entire colony using a series of tail slaps and high-pitched squeals while also not dying. It's like being the fire alarm in a fireworks factory. One day, you feel a strange vibration. Something's off. Too smooth. Too rhythmic. Then it hits you, literally. A metal blade crashes through the tunnel wall. Dirt flies. Mole rats scream. You've just met your newest predator, human construction. Pipes, drills, foundations, none of that existed in your evolutionary playbook. You're running, dirt flying behind you like a tiny panicked jet engine. You make it to a side tunnel, barely missing the second blade. Welcome to modern mole rat life. Old school biology versus heavy machinery. But you don't get a therapy session or a lunch break. When things settle, you go back to work like nothing happened. Because what else are you going to do? You're a naked mole rat. Dig, survive, repeat. And just when you think the day is over, guess what? It's root transport time. That's right. You're hauling fibrous vegetables through tunnels that are basically designed to fit the width of your regrets. And if one of those roots gets stuck, guess whose teeth are on the line? Yours. Every now and then, though, you catch a break, like finding a fresh potato chunk in a tunnel nobody checks. It's moldy, sure, but in mole rat terms, that's gourmet. You eat like a king for 30 seconds before a soldier finds you and assigns you to poop tunnel patrol as punishment for unauthorized chewing. And speaking of punishment, if you ever feel the faintest flicker of ambition, like maybe I could be queen, you better keep that thought to yourself. Because the moment your hormone levels start to rise, the royal enforcers will know. They can smell rebellion. And before you know it, you're being chased down by two steroid-fueled cousins with one job: protect the crown. You don't get a warning, you get tackled. And if you're lucky, you wake up with a bruised ego and a strong reminder that this isn't Game of Thrones. It's Game of Digs. And you are not the main character. Even so, something deep inside you is changing. You're becoming wiser. You can tell when soil's about to collapse, when predators are approaching, even when the queen's in a bad mood. You've got tunnel smarts now. And in naked mole rat society, that counts for something. Well, not promotion or respect, but at least you might live longer. And so you keep going. Every day blends into the next. Dig, haul, clean, dodge predators, dodge superiors, hope a tunnel doesn't collapse on your face, repeat. It's not glamorous. It's not heroic. But it's mole rat life. You're not a hero. You're not royalty. You're just one highly determined, semi-blind, pink-skinned dirt gremlin doing their best in a world that never cuts you a break. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. You've been working the tunnels for years now. Not that you've been keeping track, time down here is more of a suggestion than a schedule. There's no sunrise, no seasons, no retirement plan. Just dirt, darkness, and your slowly wearing out body. Your teeth? Still growing. Your joints? Not so lucky. That once laser-focused digging rhythm is starting to feel more like two shovels stuck in molasses. And your back? Don't even ask. You're slower now. Slower to respond, slower to dodge. Which wouldn't be a big deal if the tunnels weren't still full of snakes, cave-ins, and the occasional enthusiastic intern mole rat trying to reorganize your dirt pile. Honestly, the younger generation has no respect for proper tunnel architecture. The queen's still alive, obviously. She always is. Still ruling with an iron uterus and cranking out pups like a factory that runs on power trips and hormones. Every new litter is a reminder that you're not getting promoted anytime soon. There's no retirement ceremony, no gold-plated digging claw. Just a quiet, unspoken rule. When you can't keep up, you get left behind. You used to joke that maybe, just maybe, the queen would finally croak and you'd get a break. But no, she's somehow gotten thicker, sassier, and more fertile. You suspect she might be immortal. The colony certainly treats her that way. They act like she invented tunnels, dirt, and sunlight, even though she's never actually seen sunlight. One day you fall behind during a food run. Not by much, just a few meters, but that's enough. By the time you catch up, the team's moved on. You wander through half-dug side tunnels for hours trying to pick up the scent trail. But the dirt's unfamiliar. You're off course. Eventually, you find a cool patch of soil and stop to rest. Just for a minute, you think. Just to catch your breath. But as you curl up alone, something strange happens. For the first time, the dirt feels too quiet. No foot traffic, no squeaks, no vibrations from the main tunnel, no nervous shuffling of underpaid cousins bumping into your tail. You wait, expecting someone to pass by. But no one does. You're not part of the machine anymore. Just a malfunctioning gear the system forgot to remove. You fall asleep, dreaming of roots and warmth. You never wake up. There's no grand send-off, no one comes looking. Your body decomposes into the same soil you've been tunneling through your whole life. Eventually, your tunnel collapses. The earth reclaims you. No plaque, no statue, no thanks for your service carved into the mud wall. Just a silent reshuffling of colony roles. The colony continues on. Another litter is born. Another worker takes your place. The digging doesn't stop. The roots keep growing. The tunnels get longer, deeper, more complicated. And somewhere deep underground, the queen yawns, stretches, and calls for more food. Again, your life, dedicated, invisible, relentless, was never about glory. It was about keeping the machine running. You weren't a hero. You weren't a leader. You were a cog in the great fleshy, buck-toothed engine of the colony. And now, you're just another part of the dirt.